hopefully, once we check this, we are live. Hello, everyone. What's going on? It's been a week. I'm also late to this stream by an hour and a half. Reason being, I've not been able to set up my stream, and I'm not feeling 100% as well. So, yeah. After I recorded all the Pokemon stuff the other day, the TCG, kind of been a bit out of it. As you can see, I'm not even in frame right now. Let me just make myself a bit bigger if it lets me. Oh, there we go. Configure video. We go to the zoomy zoom. Let me just move that out of the way. There. Hi. Big boy now. Apply. Boom. So, I'm actually gonna do that way. There we go. Sup? We've got 2 games to cover because I missed last week because I was out of town. But we're going to be going over Astralis Vitality first today. As the draft happens, we'll just let it play out. Already seeing some standard things from patch 13.4. Obviously, playoffs is not on this patch. It's on 13.5, where Azir changes have come through, making him a bit more powerful, as well as other champions seeing a bit more play. I've been peeking in and out of the LCS playoffs recently, and the fact that Golden Guardians are in the final is just surprising. But yeah, the patch has been weird. I saw Cassante mid to flex a Rumble top. It's a bit more flexible, it seems, this patch for the mid lane, and I really want to see if that flexibility can be translated over to the LEC. Excuse me. Anyway, draft so far: Caitlyn, Lucian, Lulu, banned out by Astralis, Sedge, Elise, and Xayah. So they're banning out a 1-1-3 special. What picks has he got left open that he's played to split? I mean, Wukong. There's Viego technically for him to give him a bit more of a carry option. But there's also a Heimerdinger on the board. Not for 1-1-3, but for the bot lane. When you have a Varus locked in already, you kind of want to match it with some more poke to harass the opponent out of lane, so you have a constant pressure lane. And Jonghyun is an aggressive support, so going for something like that, I dare say, would make Astralis' bot lane a bit more interesting, especially going into a Rakan. I think that would be the most ideal for Astralis here. As for Vitality, if they lock that in, that's actually quite interesting, because that means that you're kind of saying, Vitality, you better lock in a carry top. Oh, it's actually the Annie. A pick that is getting nerfed into the future, but like right now, she's quite strong. The fact that she's one of the strongest flex picks between support and mid is mind-boggling, because there's not many champions that share that sort of flexibility that are meta right now. I guess you could argue Lux, but she isn't that good. But I think we've got both bot lanes laned in, an aggressive support for Jonghyun and the Annie, and if you've used Professor, for some reason Annie is touted as a counter pick to every single thing that you could possibly lock in. That's how powerful she kind of is. So it's kind of funny just to see her being locked in my perspective. of the pick. Going into a Kaiser. This pick's kind of rose more so steadily throughout this year. Similar to Zaya, in all honesty. Because started split, you had a lot of these Varus lanes, Lucian Namis, and whatever. And suddenly over time, the Kaiser and this Zaya have snuck back into the meta. We'll start to soon see Jinx a bit more sneaking in. I feel she's got a lot more powerful since the changes they've done to her, so it's going to be nice to see. But the rest of the draft so far looking stock and standard. Sion coming through, the steal away for leader. Aurelion Sol, not something you would associate with a melee heavy assassin-esque pick guy who, you know, isn't... Well, I mean, I said Aurelion Sol could be his new rise. I've definitely said that sometime before we've actually broke this down. But here and now, looking at the drafts as they've come through, top lane is going to be Gwen having a bit of an easy time into a Sion. She's always going to have push secured. Carry jungle versus engage. I can't really favour that off. Obviously, you're hoping the Viego gets fed. Aurelion into Lissandra. If I'm correct, if Aurelion can get flying, Lissandra can't pull him out of his flight. That's my understanding of the interaction. But yeah, I'm liking these drafts. Kaiser Rakan into Varus Annie. Definitely favors early game the Annie Varus lane side of things. They should be getting early push and hopefully trying to squish Kazi and Kaiser, who as a whole this split have been arguably the weakest aspect of Vitality. Wait, it's not Kazi, it's Upset. I'm out of it. I'm not thinking. It's actually Upset in the bot lane. I'm dumb. That's the strongest part of Vitality, actually. Anyway, into the game we load up. Nice bit of Pokemon music. Don't know what's playing right now. I should have a look. It's Battle Masters EX for How. I like that guy. Anyway, onto the Rift we go. The matchup is set in stone. Oh, this is the game with the weird signs. I'm literally watching the playback as it happens on my screen. Let's be honest here. Draft-wise, I still think Astralis got the better side of it. But you've still got to realize the Vitality comp definitely want to jump on top of you. And they're going to, hopefully, or for them, try to get past the big Scion. Now, Sedge was banned out by Vitality, and I like that a lot because it means that this, essentially, the Viego isn't going to be like a big frontline threat that can kind of stop you from advancing forward. It's actually just there to try and kill off anyone who pushes forward. And I would have preferred the Sedge, which I like this ban more now from Vitality. If they were planning to go for this dive comp against Astralis from the very beginning, this is very good for them, and I think draft has worked out well in that aspect. I do, however, think that Astralis have the better draft, because they can set up in an area very easily and just keep you away at arm's length away with the Varus and the Annie poke. The Tibbers can obviously come out to zone you away as well. Jungle starts actually quite interesting to me here. So Viego has cleared out his entire bot side jungle and is already looking to path bot. Obviously, a very strong pushing bot lane. But Vi has gone red to blue to Gromp. And she's kind of forced into a bad situation here because she's only level 2 to the Viego's level 3. So Viego is going to get the flash out very easily. Going to steal away the Gromp as well. And yeah, mid side. I'm a bit concerned here for Perks because he nearly actually dies there. It would have been very easy for Viego to wrap around, obviously to come and make a play, but instead he's just stealing away more camps. And Vi forced to reset to enter her own topside jungle. And if I'm correct, 113 could in theory just continue his rampage through Vitality's jungle. And he is going to do so. This is actually really well played by 113. I'm actually enjoying this pathing. Because he's read the play and is just going to steal it away. He's ahead by double the CS of Bo this early game. And that's something that we need to focus in on for Vitality. Bo is an excellent jungler at tracking his opponent. So what happens when the opponent is tracking him? It makes it very hard for said plays. I'm actually surprised 113 reset there. Because he's now giving up pressure or the jungle clear speed that he had generated for himself. And it's given basically Bo a back in on the blue buff. Because he's just going to steal that away. Sion not going to be able to interrupt it. And yeah, that's kind of surprising that the tempo generated by 113 has kind of been subdued. I'm actually also intrigued by what emote he's going to be flashing, because I think I just saw a B emote, which is a surprise. Anyway, top side, it's just aggression from Gwen, as expected. But Perks making an early roam down bot. Actually, Kaiser's going to die for first blood. Now Perks is in a bad situation. Oh, this is bad. That was very well played by Astralis, because obviously kind of a bait there by Perks. He sold his bot lane down the river. And Kaiser, we knew was going to engage there once Perks walked down. He stepped over a vision ward, so yeah, you kind of know he's going to try and make a play here. And it surprises me that there was no kill over to Vitality there. But there was a lot blown in terms of summoners. Looking at the entire summoner list for Astralis, all of their bot lane sums are gone. Whereas Upset still has both of his, so they can play very aggressive here. 113 though, I think is doing the right thing. Trying to force the sums out from Upset, who isn't going to blow him till last second, finally. Trading away the flash, which was definitely needed because he would have died otherwise. Anyway, this is a good engage, but Annie's just quicker with the stun charge. Just went straight in onto the Rakan, bursted him out, and then it's just a nice auto to finish off Perks, who went in without a paddle. He's level 6 now. Don't know if he was during the last play. I dare say he was. And you know, right now, this could be arguably a bit of a situation, because Astralis are going to continue to pressure bot side. We already sustained that it's an aggressive bot lane. Now, this means as Perks goes in mid, they're just going to focus a lot more turret plating down to bot. Bo, unable to make a play here bot side. Bit slow to make any sort of engage. He is not level 6 yet. in comparison to 113, who, let's be honest, has been ballooning his bot lane very easily. He got the early CS lead on Bo as well, so he got ahead of him. Back to looking at the gold real quick. Every lane except the top side and technically now jungle, there is an advantage, and there you go, jungle advantage is back. There's an advantage basically for Astralis as Perks goes very aggressive into leader there. Blows his flash for an ignite. And that's a big thing to point out. Perks is running Unsealed Spellbook as Scion Charge comes through, Anti-Stun comes through, chase over the wall, Vi's going nowhere, and bot side, Upset's getting a lead now. And that's actually a surprise. I'm intrigued more so about how Kobe died there in the 2v1. Because I don't actually know where Jonghoon went. Oh wait, he was mid-play on his Annie. Yeah, this is... Photon? Did he steal that? No, he didn't. He is, however, still trading forward into 3 members on his own. They're just going to run away with the Annie shield. Anyway, bot side, we're going to see how Kobe died. He gets tagged and just immediately engaged on. Okay. That makes sense. And the knock up. Okay. If he didn't get knocked up there, 2 more autos possibly could have come out and executed off Upset in a 1-for-1. But he did. And that's not good for him. So, how much? We haven't actually got a fully charged leader star yet. He's still building that up. And that's something I really like on the new Aurelion Soul. Is that massive damage ultimate. He can just drop down. As Perks is caught out, gets hit by the Aurelion ult, forced to ult himself. But because there's more members of Vitality here, all 4 of them are in mid. They're definitely wanting this Drake in a minute. It's kind of surprising that there's 4 of them there committed, considering Kobe is still pushing and is able to get it under turret. It's 2 3-men's bot. The Herald's dropped, so yeah, that's first turret going down. Boop. Surprisingly, Vitality chose to stay bot. They're actually going to lock up Diani, who's just walking away. Now they're onto Viego. The targeting's so poor from Vitality. They just allowed Stars to pick them up. He's using the Happy Bee today. That's actually weird to see him using that and not an Ari emote. So, we'll watch it again. I'm intrigued by the focus. So, quickness plus bow over the wall. He flashes bow. He flash Qs the Annie, knocking her or stunning her. She gets charmed as well by Kaiser. Ulted by the 2 of them as well. But she's able to flash to get away. So Upset has to dash over here in order to try and execute off Diani, whom is just building up her stun. She's not actually thrown out her stun yet. Or a second stun. She's now on charge 3. We know she's sitting on Tibbers. But the fact is, the targeting coming out from Astralis so much better than what we're seeing from Vitality. They're just giving kill after kill over. Viego's able to get resets. There's Tibbers, by the way, just there. And the pop-off on top of it from Jonghoon makes this play even more devastating. Let's be honest. I'm shocked that Vitality are playing like this because it's simple mistakes. That play could have been a lot worse, by the way. Because Drake is now up. There's no Baron. If Baron was up, they'd definitely have gone for it. But right now, I think Drake's priority for Astralis is Sion. Just able to bully out Gwen a little bit more as this game goes on. He's just going to stack up MR. Because you look at across the board, Lissandra and Gwen, two big AP damage dealers who he's most likely dealing with as play coming in onto Varus, just throwing out a bit of damage, unable to get away with it. Annie stunning him up. Tibbers is dropped. Is this Astralis throwing the game? Here comes the big star. Just thrown out so much damage. Viego gets an Exy. This is good for Astralis. Hello, here comes a Sion. 2 kills traded back for the 1. I thought that this would be the part of the game where Astralis would have thrown their lead. Just coming in one by one to the play. Not all together. In a losing fight as well. I thought that they would have basically given the back into the game for Vitality. Instead, they remain ahead. A nice big old 4K gold lead for themselves. And, you know, a lot of that comes from the jungle diff right now. Bo was put behind early. Need I remind you, he's been unable to CS cleanly in his jungle, and that's a lot due to the part of what 113 has done, marking him. But right now, you have to realize the jungle damage is completely different, because right now, well, I say right now, we'll watch this fight again as Varus just gets taken out. He's unable to do anything. But here comes 113. He baits in the fight as the massive star from downtown flies into the battle, knocking up Perks. And Perks is the main target for 113, who executes him off, gets the transformation, a shield as well from the Annie. That's one thing people forget is Annie gives shields. That's sort of a new thing that happened 2 years ago where the ability, the Fiery Shield, got changed so that it wasn't just on her. It wasn't on just Tibbers. It could go on to teammates. And that's been one of the big things why people are liking her a bit more. Is the fact that she is a big damage dealing enchanter. And I like her a bit more as well. Been playing her a bit in solo queue. It's very hard to deal with Tibbers. Even as a support. She's just able to throw it out, make it so that you're unable to kind of control an area. And she's just able to beat you down. But getting back into things, as it stands, that does not finish with Vitality in second. In actual fact, these two teams switch positions if we're looking at the actual standings after week 3. Astralis finished second. And Vitality, finished 4th, 3rd. 1 or 2. Anyway, back to what's happening on the map. First item, Black Cleaver for the Vi and the Viego, respectively. I mean, it's an item that's seen a lot of criticism lately from analysts around the world not liking it first for certain champions, and one of them is Vi. In this game, I understand it if you were focusing the Scion as your engage target. However, spoiler alert, as we go into another fight in early, if you're bow, I wouldn't be focusing as we go back into the play. Coming through just a star drop, that's definitely a kill. Over to leader, he's able to get out as well. 113, the mad lad stole away to Rakan to just get a bit of distance. But it's just damage coming out from Astralis. They've picked up 2 kills. They're going to make it a 3rd if they are able to get on top of Perks. But the Super Mega Blast Cone gets him back out to safety. But what I was saying is, if you're the Vi, and I'm noticing a big thing this game is, she's jumping onto the wrong targets in terms of lockup. I mean, 113 is a carry in this game, but the way Astralis just played this fight, they focused down the Rakan, which gave an out for 113, who was the main target for Vitality in that play to kill. They don't actually kill him, and instead he's able to get out. Well, they do kill him eventually, but he's able to get out and allow his team to basically get another kill. Anyway, Soul Point just picked up there for Astralis. They're certainly ahead of tempo. Chemtank Soul, I mean, is considered one of the weakest souls in comparison to how it used to be. But this would be why I would still have the Black Cleaver. It's for this play onto the Scion. And Bo's not actually going to go for it. He's just shadowing. In actuality, I think the play is going to be turned around on its head. Photon's caught out. 113 running down. He has the stun, the needlework just to clear the wave, and leader gets another kill. Anyway, back to me talking about Vi items and how I hate the Black Cleaver. Here, if you were constantly pressuring a Scion, I would definitely get this item. However, you've not made a single play towards that pick. In fact, all your plays have been mainly down to bot lane, where you're jumping on Annie. Now, Annie, not that bulky. Tibbers is bulky, but Annie is not. So, you're jumping on the wrong target. On the other side of the rift, 113. He is got the Sundra effect basically to deal with the Vi. Vi has been kind of targeting the bot lane of Astralis. So killing her off quickly, smart option from 113. As the Baron is kind of revealed to Vitality once Jonghoon and everyone steps over it. Teleport's coming in behind. This is good from Astralis. They're turning onto the weak side. Star gets dropped. Jonghoon falls. So now a 4-for-1 is Bo. What, 4v5 I should say. I can't count. Bo gets launched over to the wrong side of the play. And slowed, flash, burnt. Not good for the jungle. In fact, it's surprising me, in a 4v5, Astralis stand tall and are able to push back Vitality. Now obviously there is a bit of a gold disparity between the two teams, but right now, oh, I like this play. They baited him. When Kaiser W went across, saw that the Baron once started, Vitality would go for reset. In actuality, that's when Astralis starts Baron. This is actually clever. However, they're going to just back away and let it reset. I'm surprised. I'm also sat really weird right now. I'm sat really close up. Hi. There we go. We'll turn that down a bit. Anyway, back to the fight. This blast cone, bit of a misplay. Obviously, Bo probably didn't want to be launched in. And, you know, I dare say, he's lucky to get away with his life. So, minute on the clock for the next Drake. I'm kind of expecting Astralis to go set up right now and get as much vision as possible, because this bottom half of jungle, or this quadrant of the rift, has got a lot of vitality vision. And so Bo is actually doing something quite smart. He's clearing out the Baron vision, and it kind of puts a bit of a strain on Astralis, because they're in a push and pull situation. You've seen the jungler for vitality topside, so you need to go up to topside, re-secure your vision, and then go back bot in order to secure the soul. Now, Astralis are in a situation where they don't actually need to do that as a play comes through. Vi forced to ult there because Sion would have obviously knocked her up and killed her off there. Good play from Finn to secure the kill there. But Baron, first target. Soul isn't even going to be focused. 113 is, however, not on the Baron pit. He's just getting up there. What's actually happening is it's a trade. A trade of Dragon Soul for... It's not actually burning that quick. It's gonna fall now, but that was very slow. Honestly, we could have seen Astralis go to make a play towards it. However, they do not. So, the game kind of slowed down a little bit. Baron is on Astralis. A small gold lead has been accrued. I dare say they'll be looking to crack a couple of lanes here. They'll probably not get tier 1 top. The way that Vitality have positioned around this top quadrant means that that's very unlikely. However, this bot lane tier 2 probably will fall to kind of circulate this gold that Astralis aren't getting on this rift from this Baron. Because Baron as a whole should be a way to crack open turrets. And with that being the first one picked up with a minute 30 left of the Baron buff, kind of surprising. Especially considering topside is still being pushed in against the Sion. But two turrets in the bot lane, pretty huge. Looking at the mid lane, it's not actually being pushed in. Viego pushing forward, TP comes through as well from Finn. Astralis retreating back, minute on the buff still. I think Vitality have defended this Baron very well. I mean, you lose 2 turrets in the bot lane, but you still manage to keep the rest of your turrets standing. I like that for them overall. As perks, just gonna get chunked by leader. And this is, okay, I was saying Vitality defended this buff well, this Baron buff very well, because that gold gain is quite low for a Baron. But now Astralis are looking to use the last 10 seconds to crack open a second tier 2. All tier 2s will have fallen now. There we go. Finally, 1.7 gold lead from a Baron buff. Or gold gain, I should say, is a better way to word it. And now, Astralis are using that tempo that they just gained from the Baron as a good guard there. By the VIT on the Signal, not allowing the big top laner to get on top of Perks' Lissandra. Very good play there. But TP coming through. Leader has been spotted backing. In actuality, Photon is a bit on his own. Good play from Leader to avoid it, but the TP coming in from the backside from Perks, locking up the Aurelion Soul. Finally, 3 kills over to Vitality. Make it a 4th. Will he get the quadra kill? Of course he does. Photon aces out Astralis. And this could be the turnaround that the Bees have needed. So we watch this play again. TP comes in. Leader's kind of forced to cancel his back. But Photon puts his W up, meaning that Leader's damage gets negated. And that's a flash immediately burned on the Aurelion Soul. The targeting from Vitality here, just to kill off the AP carry. The only AP threats on this Astralis side got killed almost instantly. And as such, this Vi, who's got a lot of armor, can just deal with the rest of the team. And this is a well-played fight out from Vitality that should net them their second Drake of the game. And personally, I think that this game has got a bit closer than what it was. And I'm kind of surprised because I was looking at the entire Baron play. It was a very low eco Baron. And so the fact that they were able to kind of overstay their welcome, I think, is what happened there for Astralis. They didn't really set up their jungle, the topside jungle too well. Sion ulted just then, so that's huge. Upset's going in, but Bo's just bursted, and it's just the Aurelion Soul able to free fire with the beams. He's going to take flight forward, upsets the target. Viego trying to lock him down. The triple kill. Will it be a quadra? No, it's not. I was hoping for back-to-back quadras. I forgot. It is not. In actuality, it's Astralis pushing for the win. Leader's just gone past the entire mid lane tier 1, tier 3, and they're on the Nexus. Overall, Vitality unable to lock down the big dragon, and in fact, they lose the game because of it. Poor targeting, gonna say it, from the Vitality squad. The Vi targeting, not ulting the right people. It felt like she had a hard-on for Annie this game. And as a result, Vitality lose to Astralis, who inevitably finished second to split. And yeah, that's the end of that game. I felt the game was very clean from the Astralis point of view. They gave over a Drake, and I don't think they gave over a Baron. No, they didn't. It was very clean from the Astralis side of things. I would say, though, that was a lot more mistakes from Vitality costing them than Astralis dominating the matchup. It just felt mistake-ridden rather than great plays overall. And I pointed to it when we looked at the bot lane tier 1 fight, where Bo flashed over the wall. They were targeting the Annie. Annie, who was trying to build up a stun. She wasn't a threat. The threats were the Viego and the Varus, who were pumping out free damage. And that's something this Astralis squad did quite well, was play well with the range they have. And it kind of meant that Vitality just couldn't reach the right target. And so that then makes me think, okay, you banned the Sejuani first instead of picking it, and you could have essentially gave a Vi over to them, or you could have banned the Vi instead of the Sejuani and locked in for yourselves a champion that can long range lock down someone with the ultimate. That would have been a bit more, or made a bit more sense to me. And you could argue that it doesn't fit the meta as well, but Sedge still provides a lot more for the team that I think could have been beneficial had it been locked in. Regardless, I have one more game today to talk to you about, and it's the teams that are behind my control W key. Boom. Koi, BDS. This matchup happened the last day of week 3. And it was kind of do or die, because Koi needed this to lock like top 4. They didn't. They could have actually tied with BDS. And it's interesting. I chose 2 teams who finished top 2. Astralis and BDS. For my matches of the week. Unknowing in week 2 and 3. That's how it would finish. I thought we'd probably finish G2 Vitality. Turns out we did not. Instead, we're here with... there we go. Let me get a bit more comfy. We're here with Astralis, BDS, top 2 teams. Now, also interesting to point out, BDS are in a different group to Koi, and Koi are facing G2 round 1. BDS face Fnatic, I believe. And that's going to be an interesting matchup, because G2 Koi should be a banger. In a best of 3 situation, probably very heavily G2 favored. But BDS versus Fnatic could be quite a close one. Regardless of that, we'll look at this game a bit more from a perspective of do or die. I'm intrigued by the fact Koi banned Blitz first. I get why. It's because Lebrov played very well in a previous outing on this pick, but for it to be essentially a first ban, current meta-wise, that's just a no. Honestly, I would say how this draft shaped up to be, with BDS in this game, you kind of would expect something zany, but it's not. It's surprisingly mellow from them. They showed essentially, hey, we do play these weird, wacky picks, but we also can play meta. Right now, you see it for Sheo, Sejuani. I was just talking about Sejuani versus Vi. This game kind of indicates and shows you the strengths of Sedge over a Vi. Not because the players are, well, of who the players are, because let's be honest, Maurang would not play anything like Bo. They play two completely different styles. And here, drafts so far are very stock standard. The bot lane for Koi is similar to what Astralis went with, who had Annie and the Varus. Instead, it's double AD, which is, I would say, kind of yikes. Obviously, Annie got banned out, but I probably would have preferred a Heimerdinger. Genuinely get a bit more AP damage into the mix. You've already picked 3 AD champs. And so you look at BDS, who've got a Nautilus, who've got a Sejuani. That's a lot of armor that can be stacked up there. And as the rest of these bans come through, I'm surprised we haven't seen like maybe a Scion ban. Genuinely, just so that there isn't something bulky in the top lane for BDS. I get that Adam does play Darius, he plays Olaf. He plays these sorts of picks, but right now, banning out a Scion could have been very impactful. Because it means that it just is so hard to kill this BDS frontline. Unless you get LDR very early. I'm pretty sure we see a Scion locked in. Because it just makes so much sense. Is there? Okay, that makes a bit more sense. Looks like BDS are looking more so to counterpick for Adam. And it's surprising he's getting last pick. Because I would have expected maybe Newt to get last pick. Because BDS drafts so far look standard. Renekton, I genuinely would have preferred maybe a Gwen. Because that's a Malphite, I remember now. Malphite's a similar sort of situation as what Scion brings. A lot of armor. And I don't think with that Corki, who is a mixed damage dealer, not pure AP, I do not like this Koi draft. I'm going to say it right now. They're too heavily indexed in AD. You got Renekton, full AD. Vi, AD. Corki, mixed but predominantly AD in current meta. Varus, AD, unless you go wacky and make it the AP build. And then Ashe, AD. BDS, hard countered Koi with this draft. I'm gonna say it, that ban towards mid are kind of telling me that they knew what Koi are signing themselves up to. And especially that Silas ban. This kind of shot Larson in the foot there. Because we could have, in all actuality, seen Nuke lock in Akali instead of Azir to counterpick it. I would have probably have gone. To be honest, I'm actually surprised we haven't seen LeBlanc. I would have preferred LeBlanc out from Larson in this game. That would have been a bit more sense. Because you then have a full AP threat. Anyway, we do not see that. We do see Zanzara, though, in the crowd, making his return to the LEC. But game is loading up now. Early game. If you're Koi, you need to make something happen in this early game. I'm going to say it, otherwise you're pretty much out of it. You cannot win this game if it goes late. There's too much strength on this BDS squad, and already Malphite with a cloth armor tells you he knows what he's doing this game. He's not building full AP Malphite. He's building tank. You don't kill me, Malphite. And I also have to point out this. You look at the Koi squad, there's 3 clear targets for that Malphite tool. It's Larson, it's Comp, it's Trimby. They will be heavily targeted past level 6. There's no ifs, there's no buts, there's no maybes. I just think this bot lane needs to get something early. First blood probably wouldn't be enough. I think they need to get 2 or 3 kills onto comp in order to kind of balloon him into the late game. Because as of right now, we'll watch how it plays. And I'll probably be a little less talkative because I don't think there's a very aggressive trade out from Trimby onto this Nautilus. Comes through. Not gonna kill him. Gonna force his flash though. And that's also something we need to look at. Cleanse on Zeri. It's not a heal. And that's kind of important. Because you kind of look at the Koi squad and what lockup tools they have. There's only technically 4 stuns. And so you take that into consideration into what sort of summon you go for. In that situation, heal would have been beneficial for Labrov to possibly stay around a bit more in lane. However, what we do end up seeing is Cleanse is impactful later on into the game. And so when you've got a Vi chasing you down, trying to lock you up, Cleanse, boom, no longer happening. The Chain of Corruption lands. Oh, I'm just gonna Cleanse to get away from it. The Ash Arrow lands. Yeah, I'm gonna press my Cleanse. Don't want to deal with whatever impending doom comes through at me. So, I like that pickup for Crowny in terms of summoners. As for comp, he's gone with heal. Kind of surprises me because that's a lot of lockup. I mean, I know it's a lot more as Trimby's. Yeah, he dared. I don't like that. I'm gonna go back a bit. So, firstly, Koi know that there's someone there because Nautilus has just hit it describes Bleam. That gets seen by everyone. So what does Trimby do? He's sweeping out vision. He sees Nautilus is there, tags him. He's like, oh, I'm still going to step forward into your face. Play hella disrespectful. My jungler is out of frame nearly. So's my ADC. This is just too greedy. And so the hook, immediate lockup from Sedge. Bot lane's ruined. I say it with a lot of disgrace. Well, not disgrace. Disgust for that play. Because I was saying, you need to get ahead at least in the bot lane by a lot. You've now given over a kill to Zeri. Comp's no longer ahead. He's nowhere near being ahead. And so, against this squad of BDS, where you need to balloon and snowball early, it's not going to happen. Good flash trade there by Adam. But Shigenda's still stepping forward. Only person with a lead in this game for Koi. The rest of the lanes are kind of even, and I'm gonna be honest, we're going into groups now. Koi stepped up considerably during group stage last time. I personally hope they do the same, and it's that bot lane that stepped up, I should also say. How this game is shaping up is very interesting. Because statistically speaking, Koi should be a dominant squad. You look at the players on this team, and right now, it's the opposite. They used to be the best of one kings, and this year, they've not. They've not done well in best of ones. As again, we see a play bot side, Surge coming forward, Flash, Comp's now dead. They're not even gonna trade it. It's so impactful as Trimby yet again steps forward. It's just over-aggression. Too much. I'm getting passionate about this. This team's just playing so wrong. Malrang's gonna die. That's 3 kills very easily over to BDS for nothing. This game, if you don't know, was an absolute blowout for BDS. Koi imploded. It just seems too greedy how they're playing. I can't think how they can win this game. Their win con is so small. Like, genuinely speaking, this bot side play, it's a great hook. One that possibly shouldn't have hit, but it bends the test of time, and Comp gets killed for it. Cleanse comes out from Crowny, and there's another hook perfectly placed, locks down Trimby, and you're then thinking, you're in a 2v3, you cannot step up. And Larson's probably pinging, hey, mid's missing. So it was more than likely always going to be a 4v3. And Koi should have known it. So why are they still stepping forward? I get that you can't seed pressure in an Ashe Varus lane, but spoiler alert, Sheo is always going to be making visits down here. The hook lands. Good night, Comp. I get that you're aggressive bot lane. It has to be aggressive for Varus and Ashe in order to succeed. But you're down gold, and you're being punished for your mistakes. Heavily punished, I should point out. As top side, Dom's just being chipped away by Renekton. He's fine. Don't really care. Vi gonna pick up a Herald for her team. And what more can come? Dragon is the trade on the other side of the map, by the way. BDS actually playing the map so well right now. There's a graphic that just tells you everything about the spot lane. It's just been quite poor for Koi. The guy who used to get pentas pretty much every playoffs game and is right now struggling. That's what that graphic is telling you. I'm not going to go into the details of it. But he's going against probably the best ADC right now in the league. Upsets close contender. But as a whole here, I'm surprised that we're seeing these mistakes out from this squad. I haven't discussed BDS really this game. I've been kind of a bit too focused on how poorly Koi have played. And as we come to a play topside, again, this should be fine. There's no way Adam kills him there. He's used his ult though, which is a big thing. There's mid lane. I think this is the only win con, if you can consider it a win con, Koi have. is the fact that Larson is astronomically ahead. Your main AP damage dealer, who has no AP in his build yet, is... Well, we know Adam doesn't have ult, so good play there by Marang to kind of punish the ultless carry. But Sheo coming for a repeat gank bot side. Nuke playing bouncer. Honestly, surprised they backed away. I would have thought they'd have gone for it still. So I'm trying to casually take inventory in my head of how this game's going. Larson gonna get away easily with the Valkyrie. Asharo lands. That should be a kill over to Larson. Good play from Trimby, honestly. But, see, you look at that play, it's a lot closer than you think. I just want to point out the mana bar for Larson there is very, very minute. So the fact that he's able to do that, use a Q and a rocket to clear out the wave as well. Sorry, use his Gatling gun and a rocket to clear out the wave, makes that play a bit more surprising that it happened, because I wouldn't have thought there'd be enough mana. There we go. Up that back again. My PC is not having a nice time right now. Okay. Larson has package. Drake is up in a minute. I don't think Koi can fight it, realistically. As Shigenda just trading into Adam. See, if I would have honestly preferred a Gwen in this situation, which begs the question of Shigenda's champion pool. Does he have that pick in him? And that also then questions Larson's pool. Why couldn't he play LeBlanc? We know he plays it. We saw it at Worlds. And also the 2022 Summer Finals. But no. What we're seeing right now is a kind of wounded Koi. That arrow was going nowhere near. Shigenda's roam down bot or to mid. Bit big. Means Koi give up top pressure to stop the Drake scaling from BDS. I like it because that removes some of the tempo and the ramping that BDS get as the game goes on. Because, as I've said, early games should be Koi favored, but it hasn't been. They've been shut down. And so, if you're Koi, what's your play in this situation? Well, simply put, you've got to put the eggs into the Larson basket, which they're trying to do. But I don't think it's enough. I'm not saying Larson's a great carry, not a great carry. But I think that how strong BDS is just too much for Koi. And so cross map comes through. Herald for bot lane tier 1. is essentially the trade. We are definitely seeing this turret fall. Comp's getting a nice influx of gold, however, which is good for him. He's going to actually deny a lot of CS. He's brought the gold lead back down to like 1.2 once this turret falls. 1.1 in favor of Crowny. But, yeah. This game still feels fairly lopsided, even though the gold is quite even. Resets come out for both teams here. Just saw the, what's it called? Radiant Virtue. Picked up for Sedge. Intrigued by the fact that it's Leandries for the Azir. I would have honestly have thought that he'd go for Ludens to get a bit more burst, because, as I say, this Koi squad's very squishy. So being able to burst out a target quite quick is a good thing. So the fact that you've gone Leandries over that pick item is a bit surprising. As a bot side, Shigenda's stepping quite close to... I can't remember names today, by the way. He's stepping too close to BDS. Anyway, bot lane tier 1 falls. There's still a Herald in the back pocket of Sheo. That's... I mean, where is he on the map? He's hovering mid and bot. Gonna be taking out his Grump. My dog has just woken up and is just looking at me like, this game's a stomp. End it. And so I may have to speed up a little bit because I'm very tired. We'll skip through a bit, actually, till we get to a fight. Does this game have a pause? No, it's just very long. It's something I've noticed with Koi games is they're very long-winded. They've got a sort of style that's similar to TSM, where they extend out games considerably over a long time. And when I say TSM, I mean the old TSM style. Before Solo and that were on this roster. My dog is crying. Nice. Hey, come here. Hey, calm down. Dog is more important than Teamfight, let's be honest. This game's very boring. Hello! Yeah! She'll cuddle in with me and watch this fight, or this game with me, won't you? Yes. I've lost my hat, Baba. What do you think's happening? As Drake's on the table, TPs are coming in mid. They're trying to set up early or late because the Drake's technically live. But look at Adam. He's got two targets there right in front of him. The Ashe and the Varus. The Herald's actually dropped here. They're looking to obviously get pressure into this mid lane so that they don't have to, like, seed it for Dragon. Adom's just hovering, and I like it. He's in a position where he can see the carries of Koi enter the river. Like that, he's trying to keep him in a choke. Now, Shigenda didn't follow the rest of Koi, so he's immediately bursted early. That's also naughty assault used on him. Package comes through, Adam just immediately bursts him. He was waiting for the package to be used before he went in. That's excellent play from the Malphite. And so Koi lose everyone for a Nautilus. And it's kind of partially due to the fact Larson felt pressured to make a play. And that's kind of annoying, because you're playing a poke comp. You have a Nash and a Varus paired alongside you with your rockets, there to poke out targets. Yes, I know, Baba. And so the fact that you give up that game where you're actually doing good for everything, because right now you look at how Koi are. They're very far away from the big meaty death ball that BDS have. And so arrow onto Sheo, who's trying to kill off someone, Larson. And it's weird. Koi's targeting's very off. Maurang goes into death ball while Trimby is focusing Sheo to keep the jungler away. And Maurang's still there. So Larson's like, okay, we're getting split. Let me go in and try and cause a fight. You look at the split, the big split though. Now that you've done that, you've kind of made your team split even bigger. Because these three aren't anywhere near this fight. I get that you're killing them off and you're actually making their health bars drop quickly. But oh, he flashed into it. He flashed into the Malphite ult. What? I hate that, because in actuality, I understand Larson's mindset is, hey, I'm gonna get ulted by Malphite. If I flash further away from, I'm further away than him from what his range of his ult. Basically, I can flash and stay out of range for it. He does not flash out of range. In actuality, he flashes into the path of it, because Adam always will look to overshoot an ult. That's the best way to do it. If you overshoot, you're more likely to hit a flash. He just goes directly in, hitting point blank ult onto Larson. He could have honestly flashed down there, and without a doubt, Adam could have not dealt with it. You're knocking my microphone, Baba. Anyway, without Larson there, Koi have no damage, and that's it. Basically, fight over. GG, go next. Simple. Baron goes over. Nothing is gained for Koi other than a massive deficit. Anyway, fight here. Adam just walks away. He's got too much armor. Bot lane tier 2 falls. He hasn't even built too much either. He's got a Sunfire cape, Jerk Shout, and boots. That's the only armor he's got. He's not fully stacked it yet. As bot lane, Koi are just seeding everything bot. You've got two mid just trying to have fun with Adam. This is just demolition out from BDS. Yeah. My dog's also saying Koi sucked this game. That's her analytical POV. Shigenda's caught out. I said that last fight. Yet again, he gets caught. And BDS get to continue to push 4v5. Sheo's just hovering bot as a miracle play. Crowny's just not locked down. He gets ulted, but traded his life. I mean, it's a big shutdown for Larson, but what can Koi get other than losing 3 for 1? Exactly. Nothing. It's too one-sided now. They had to win early before this game became out of hand, and they just didn't. So I'm basically saying this game is over, and we've got 25 minutes on the clock. It's going to be slow and steady because there's another load of time on the game. 54 minutes on the game. There's another 14 minutes, and I'm going to be honest, we don't really need to watch it, because it's more of the same. Shigenda getting caught out, and then Koi not being able to follow up on engages. It's a weird comp that they drafted here, and I'm surprised about it, because it just doesn't suit. You don't see the Ash Arrow wackily randomly fired out. It's on such a low cooldown that you should be firing it. And do you know how it's on a low cooldown? It's because you buy certain items. Instead, we've got a Black Cleaver picked up for Ash. First, it's a weird build. Anyway, I'm just going to watch the Adam ult here, because I just see Koi clumped up so much. He has to see it. Larson's caught, forced the package out already. Shigenda on his own, he's caught by his lonesome. Adam's just going to follow. Ult, boom. They're focusing the jungler. Pretty smart, because Baron's on the table. This is just BDS picking off the right target. And they've got too much bulk. Koi can't deal with it. And that's game. Simply put, that's it. That should be everything here now. I'm going to skip through to their third Baron of the game. On the table. Koi have package. This is a very similar situation to the last one. Koi step forward. Shigenda being the front man. Maurang alongside him. Ash Arrow tags onto Adam. That's not the right target you want to be hitting with that. That's your big CC tool now on cooldown. Sedgel goes wide. Shigenda caught out in the rest of BDS. He's low. The base is still being finished off by Nuke. This is a 4v5. Koi are losing it. They're winning this fight, but they're losing their base. TP's cancelled. Finally, someone's able to make it. It's Shigenda onto Nuke. Gonna keep his turret alive. Koi turned to the Baron. And this is where you start to think, okay, I remember this now. Could Koi turn this game around? They just won a sacrifice play by BDS. And I'm just gonna skip to said fight, because the answer is no. Essentially, BDS actually, this is a quite impactful bit, because that's Adam using his ult. It's on quite a low cooldown at this point in the game. Level 17. And Koi just stepping forward, trying to focus the Malphite. Shigenda steps up. He's bursted low. Burns all his summoners as well. And look at Sheo. He's getting a flank. Koi, I think, played this wrong. They've lost soul. They're losing this game heavily. The item disparity is huge. Comp's not got a single kill, which is pretty big. And as such, I don't see the way in for them, even though they managed to miraculously win a fight. It's just doom and gloom because they're losing minions waves. And yeah, calm down. Anyway, Shigenda off to the side, fighting Sheo. Shock. Shigenda not being with the team kind of split off, and he's gonna get targeted, I think. As BDS just step forward with the waves, they're just herding them in. And there's the hook. Bye-bye Comp. No, it's Malrang. Never mind. There goes Comp. Everything lands onto him. Azir pushes Larson to his death. Larson's also built GA, by the way. More AD. The only AP damage items built this game on Koi's side are on Larson, a Liandry's, and Void Staff and Boots. I look at the Malphite build and also the Sejuani. Predominantly AD armor. They've got a Force of Nature on one, and then just bits of a Negatron Cloak for Sheo, just cause. But let's be honest, this game was doom and gloom, and she wants to cry. Oh well. Basically, Koi couldn't do anything. BDS draft Kingdom them, and that's it. That's gonna be also the end of this stream. We wanna go. Go. Cool. Might as well let her out the room. Anyway, that's gonna be it. My voice hurts from being mad at Koi. Thanks for joining me. If you've enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new and if you want to, and I will see you guys next week, where we'll be predicting group stage, and you'll also be treated to some more pack openings. There's one more coming out today. See you guys then.